All right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. My name is Kanipa with Macquash, Standing Bear, Soto Tribe, Fishing Lake, First Nations, Saskatchewan, Canada, Treaty 4 Territory, Anishinaabe, 60 Scoop Survivor, published author. And welcome to We Are the Medicine Circle, which really implies that we are the Medicine Circle. This is really implies that I'm not in charge here. I am in the service of the Great Spirit, and I'm in the service of this circle. Um, One of the most important things that I say all day, if no one said that, they love you today. I love you very much. Which really just means that I want you to live a really good, beautiful, powerful life, connect to all of those things that give us a good, beautiful, powerful life, like air, water, fire, earth. Beginning with those. And so, yeah. So let's a couple of housekeeping notes here. You know. Connections. So if there's especially to you Facebookers, we are coming off two platforms. So if you would like to join us over on YouTube, we have a couple people over there have just kind of made this a part of their, they go tune in to us live from YouTube, Standing Bear, the author YouTube page. That is fine because sometimes we have a connection with the like the Facebook thing. We had a horrible day the other day. Like if there's a lag in the audio or someone gets frozen, just know that I'm not going anywhere. You can go over to YouTube. I'm going to hit that live button, pick up right where we left off, and we're going to finish out the hour-ish kind of thing. Okay, so tags. Also, we do have a new tag list out there. Couple things. There are a lot of notifications, so I'm right with you, but you still want to be tagged. So what you can do is, for your Facebookers, there's three little dots up here. Just hit those three little dots as a drop down that says turn off notifications. So that's that. Also, I did post a couple things that you had requested. So one of those things from the YouTube is the 30-day challenge. So that's that because we have mentioned that a couple of times. Opening the day with prayer. That's what that is. That's a little bit more in-depth look. That's a 5 or 10 minute video. So we do go over that. That was a request from you. So so yeah, and let us begin in a good way here. And as always, we always ask for a volunteer um, to keep this smoke going throughout the entire circle. That's in remembrance for two things. That's remembering that's the prayer of the grandmother who suggested that we keep the smoke going throughout the entire meditation in remembrance for honoring, respecting, loving the residential school children who never came home. And I would just add, I spoke to her last week, and I asked her if we could add also their families too. And she thought that was a really good idea too. So we're just going to include everybody who was affected by the residential schools. Yeah, if you could give me a little heart, a little thumbs up, if we could keep just a little smoke going, just smoke going is fine. So please and thank you. Okay, well let us begin here. Okay, let us begin. Let us begin with spirit. Let us begin in the good and usual way here. If you would like to offer with me, that would be good. Um, this is a comment. This is also a comment from you the other day. Uh, does this count as part of my 30-day challenge? No, it just no. So that comes up. Yeah, that comes up every now and then. There's two people that had a little back and forth about what the 30-day challenge is. That's why I posted it. This does not count as your 30-day challenge. So So please go out. The 30-day challenge is the short version of it. We wake up at the beginning of the day. We really set that beautiful intention beginning with gratitude. And again, I posted a video that goes more in depth about that. But it's really between you, the sunrise, and the ancestors. It's not really between all of us here on social media. So. Little help from above, little help from below. If it doesn't begin with spirit, then it doesn't begin. If it doesn't begin with prayer, then it doesn't begin. If it doesn't begin with offering, then it doesn't begin. So let's begin in a good and beautiful way. And then, to all my relations, Kitchi Manitou, Great Spirit, Creator, Great Mystery. Chi Megwit for our breath. Chi Megwit for our circle. Chi Megwit for our day. Chi Megwit for our life. We come here today. We mean no harm in what we do. We come here in a good way, humble way, and sacred way. We come here to remember all life. We are grateful for our last breath, and we are hopeful for our next, and we live in that place in between. We may come here for a lot of reasons. But the first reason is life. Not just our life, because that would be selfish. We want to be selfless and come here and celebrate all life. As if it was our own, as if we are part of all life, because we are. We come here and we celebrate all nations, tribes, and circles, especially there's nations, tribes, and circles that do not look like the two-legged. Like the standing nations, the ones that offer the world breath, we say thank you. To the swimming nations and the fish nations, the ones who teach us how to live in harmony and balance with the water, we say thank you. To the wind nations, the ones who teach us how to live in harmony and balance with the wind and air, we say thank you. To the creepy crawlies and the slithers and the ones who teach us how to stay close and grounded to Mother Earth, we say thank you. To the four-legged nations, circles, and tribes, who teach us and offer us so much to and for and with our humanity, we say thank you. Thank you for your teaching and thank you for your life. And of course, to other two-legged nations, circles, and tribes, where we understand that you are our teachers as well. And this makes our ears and our hearts very happy. We come here and we celebrate those things that give us life. Air, water, fire, earth. We celebrate the 7 directions because we know love, light, and life come from all directions. We celebrate the ones that come before us, our ancestors, and let us remember that if they are our relatives here, which all life is, then they are our ancestors over there. So it's not just the two-legged. That is the colonial mind. We understand that the birds, the bees, the bears, the butterflies, they are all our ancestors. Grandmother butterfly is our first ancestor. Grandmother mole is our ancestor. This makes our hearts very happy. Makes our ears very happy when we say that. We come here and we celebrate their life. And we understand that some of our two-legged ancestors were hurt, wounded, abused, and traumatized, and they passed that along to us. A time of great sadness and mourning and loss and grieving. We acknowledge this, but we also acknowledge the healing process. The healing process. To grow stronger with spirit, stronger in prayer, to align ourselves with the Great Spirit. And we understand during this process it's okay not to be okay. And it's along this process we will understand that their hurts and their wounds and their traumas were not for us to carry, but for us to heal. That is not our legacy. Our legacy is healing. And not just for us, because that would be selfish. We want to be selfless. We do this for the next seven generations, where we only borrow this earth from our children, and our children are only loaned it to us. So we are at the intersection between two unseen worlds. What a beautiful time of healing. What a beautiful opportunity. What a responsibility it is. Beautiful responsibility to break those chains, to break the cycle of drinking, the violence, the isms, the anger, the Latin, and to make good relations. What a great time it is to be better people. What a great time it is to let the mistakes go of yesterday and begin our new life together right here, right now. What a beautiful time it is. What a beautiful way to celebrate our life and our life together. And let us remember all these worlds, the unseen worlds. They hear everything that we say. They know everything that we do. So let us sit, and they know that we are here with good intentions in our hearts. We know this because this is the prayers of the ancestors. They taught us this through their prayers. For we are the culmination of their prayers and their thoughts. And they gave us a trail to follow. But not one we can see with our eye, but only see with our hearts. And that means see with good intentions. That means when we come here to heal, then the road will be made clear. Our hearing sharp. Our thoughts and minds gentle. It is called the Red Road, the road of wellness, the road of all people, the road of all life, the road of unity and love, oneness and wholeness, like the first prayer at the center of the universe. The original prayer, the ancient sacred agreements of harmony and balance. But there is a price to be paid. We must put some skin into the game. Skin like humility, truth, love, wisdom, honesty, courage, and respect. These are teachings that the ancestors have brought to us, that they have given us, that we are a part of. So let us sit here with these teachings. Let us make good relations with these teachings as we make good relations to each other in this world and all life. Both seen and unseen, spiritual and physical. The old ones say, let's begin with the spirit. Let's begin with prayer. So let's begin with humility today. Let's begin with gratitude. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this opportunity to come here. It doesn't have to be the way it's always been. Let us sit here. Let us be better humans. Let us use kind words. Let us make better choices. Oh, all right. Okay, well, good morning, everyone. Once again, my name is Kenny Wood Macwash, Standing Bear, Soda Tribe Fishing Lake First Nation, Saskatchewan, Canada, Treaty 4 Territory, Anishinaabe, 60 Scoop Survivor, published author. So, yeah, we just have, one of those comments yesterday. You guys come up with some really good comments. So one of those comments that I just really appreciate, like how much fun we have here. Um, that was just a beautiful thing. And you know what we do? It doesn't have to be all, like we think that healing is like gloom and doom, right? It's like a deadly thing, right? It's like, oh my God, no. But really, we just have a really good time here. We really do. We laugh, we cry, we carry on, we make jokes, we fun, and, this is, I can remember, I'm going to tell a little story. That's just the way it is. I'm sorry. So I can remember, when I first started walking this red road, I finally said, "Oh, this is good. This is powerful. But if we have to be serious, right? Every ceremony had to be like serious, right? Had to be serious, And then grandfather told me, my elder, reminded me and said, "Hey, look, laughter is a big part of our healing. It's a big part of the way we grow and the way we mature and the way we understand the spirit." And I've never forgotten that. It just hit me in that perfect time because I thought it was, it had to be like, okay, this is it, no laughter, no. But he said, like a big part of our growth is really understanding, right? Really understanding that hey, look, this is, this is a beautiful part of our process. Anyway, I have digressed again. I'm just so sorry about. Okay, all right. Hollow bones. So that's what. So hollow bones is one of the kind of four things, the preamble things that we talk about. So we understand that there's a life force, and we talk about this because there's a lot of new people in the circle. So hollow bones. That was a hollow bones prayer connecting to all life, not just the two-legged. That's kind of like a patriarchal religion kind of thing. That's something that we really want to step out of. We really have to grow out of it as a species if we want to grow and mature as a species. So we have to step out of that patriarchy, the church kind of thing. And that's not good or bad thing. That's just contrast medicine, right? That's all this. We don't have to label that good. We don't have to label that bad. All we have to say is no, thank you, and we will step into a new realm. That's the thing. It doesn't have to be any lateral violence. It doesn't have to be this, talking bad this about that. We don't need that. All we have to say is like no, thank you, and then we introduce the new, right? So the new concept is here for the newcomers that are here is we know that there's a life force out there. It comes in two parts. So we connect to that life force: air, fire, water, earth. So we connect to that. We sit with it. We pray with it. We pray for it. Right. So then the second part is, once we feel that calmness, that beauty, that serenity, hey, and that moment, there was another comment too, hey, like a very beautiful comment brought you, saying like, I think I'm going to make it. That's, the three senses, but that was the last sentence. I think I'm going to make it. Right? And I think that's a beautiful thing, right? So it brings tears to my eyes. It's just like it's like that beautiful, right? Because we come from a world that tells us that we're not going to make it. Every day they're bombarding us with something wrong, something more, something this, something back, and sad loneliness, depression comes in, right? We have the beautiful opportunity to replace that with what? Life, hope, gratitude, all these beautiful things that are already around us, right? Sunrise is about hope. It's about the returning of the ancestors. It's about knowing that we are never truly alone, right? We are never truly alone. Returning of the ancestors, right? So early in my walk, I imagined the buffalo running with me wherever I went, and that is so powerful. So I felt invincible, like literally walking into Walmart, which is a really scary place, like if we're in that like place, right? Scary, like people look like weird people, right? But then I imagine the buffaloes, you know, just walking with me. I can hear, and that's just a beautiful thing, right? That's a beautiful, beautiful thing, right? You know? And I still do that today. Been doing that for years. So anyway, the second part of that is we offer prayers. That means we give life. That means we sit, make gratitude offerings toward those things that give us life. Right. That's the second half. And, one half is not more powerful than the next. They're both equal. Right. So that means we sit with the water. That means we sit with the fire. And here's another question. So another question. Well, I'm a real water person, and here's like the thing. You may be a water person, but you have to sit by the fire too. Right. That's here. There's a pen here. Hold on. There's a pen. Right. Like you maybe have a water drum, a water singer, but you have to sit by the fire too. You have to sit and breathe, do those breathing things, and have to just enjoy it, feel it, understand it, right? One is not more powerful than that. And you may be closer to one, but you have to still do the all, right? Right, because if we do the one and then we forget the other three, air, water, fire, earth, right? Saying, like sitting with Mother Earth, but you're not sitting by the fire, acknowledging the air or the water, then that leaves us a place out of balance. So, like you can walk with one, but we have to sit with all. That's just what I'm saying. So anyway, I think we're talking about hollow bones. I think that's so the hollow bone. So that's that. So please, ancestors and elders. So it is so important that we thank those who have come before us, right? And we don't do this as like a rote routine. Like, okay, well, thank you, Grandpa. It's not like, okay, well, thank you to me. No. We do it with power. We do it with intent. We do it with focus. We do it with prayer. And I would say, this has been coming around a lot. It's like the 30-day challenge. Again, the 30-day challenge, the short version is we open the day with prayer and gratitude. Right? We thank life for life and all those things that bring us life. We thank you for the conscious connection that we start to get when we connect to life. In other words, we start feeling good, right? And let's give thank you to those things that we feel good about, right? That's kind of short version. So thank you. So thank you to Grandfather Tony Stonehawk. I've been with him for 30 years now. 30 years blows my mind. He is Lenni Lenape out of Delaware. I am Soto out of First Nations in Canada. So yes, so he's my spiritual grandfather. He's like my father. He's like a father figure to me. He really is. And so the bulk of what I know is from him. But here's like the other thing too is one of his greatest messages to me ever was, I want you to go out and I want you to sit with as many elders as you can. And it really kind of flew in the face of what I knew, what I wanted to do, because I didn't know anything about family. I kind of grew up in the system, grew up in an orphanage and foster care, and then I was, adopted by this white American family, and I didn't know what that was. I never had a family, so when they said, this is my family, I had no idea what they were talking about. So anyway, so I finally get to Grandfather Tony after all the chaos and trauma and nonsense, drug addicted behaviors kind of thing, and I finally get to Grandfather Tony, and then Grandfather Tony, like I thought loyalty was a big thing. Like in my mind, that was the number one thing. I didn't know anything about nothing back then, but loyalty. No, Grandfather, I'm sitting with you. I'm not such, and she goes, no, that's not the way of the Spirit. I want you to go out, and I want you to sit with many. And you know what he did? He took me to other medicine men and women to sit with. So he showed me what to do. So there's a guy named Joe Ironhorse. he's Apache, but he's in Florida. So we started going there. We started sitting in his lodge, right? And I'm like, wow, that's cool. And, the Apaches do it really beautiful. And then we sat with some other, then we sat with some Seminole. And then then we sat with some Lakota. It was really beautiful. Like, he showed me all these beautiful things, right? All these, so, and he said, not one way is any better than the other. They're all beautiful. Just respect them all. And like, that was one of the greatest gifts. Like if there's a gift from the ancestors, that's like the cliff notes to living a really good, beautiful, powerful life. That's it. Just, okay, good. And then he started taking me into state and federal prisons, taking the lodge ceremony, pipe ceremony into state and federal prisons. Florida state and federal prisons. So in any one prison, there's 30 or 40 different tribes represented. So I heard when I was sitting in there, 30, 40 different beautiful ways to do it, right? How to carve a pipe, how to do this, how to do this, like how to bead, like every tribe has your own beautiful way. And I'm like, that's really beautiful. So anyway, thank you to all those who have taught me in a really good, beautiful way. And I just want to offer that to you because I think it's really cool. So, okay, circle medicine. Where's my circle medicine? All right, here we go. Circle medicine. No one's in front of us, no one's behind us, no one's above us, no one is below us. We are all equal. That's what that means. That means we're all sitting in the same beautiful circle. We look like this. YouTubers, I love you. Facebookers, I love you. This is what we look like here. Hold on. Let me go over YouTube here. So this is us, YouTubers. This is every single. So this is us right here. We are all intertwined, we're laughing. Facebookers, this is all of us right here. This is Unity, Leah, Thomas. This is all of us right here, intertwined. Like, that's beautiful, right? Let's start thinking in those terms, right? Let's start introducing that to our minds and to our prayers, to our hearts, right? It's really beautiful, right? That means equality. And that doesn't mean only the two-legged, right? It doesn't mean, it means the four-legged. They are beautiful, powerful. Right? Often we only understand the power of the four-legged once they cross over because their energy is no longer there. Right? Let's start recognizing the energy and the power and the presence that they have here. Right? That means, and it's not just the four-legged, but the standing nations. Right? They have a beautiful, powerful presence. Right? But if we don't notice with gratitude and offer our thanks for breath, we will never notice them, right? And then we realize once we notice them how powerful, and then we notice that they are also our beautiful teachers as well. Right? So so people say, Wayne, there's no more love in the world. And I'm like, you're not paying attention. You're not paying, because everything out there. They're our teachers. They're trying to guide us in a really good and beautiful way. And I'm so lonely. Well, I get that, right? Wayne, I'm in despair. Standing Bear, I'm in despair, right? But when we don't notice the circle around us, don't feel part of the circle, then we feel again lost, lonely, scared, afraid. And then we get caught up in that because that's all we see. What we have to do is change our intent, right? Change what we look at, how we look at, and more importantly, how we listen to what we're looking at. Write that down. There you go. Write that down. Right. That's really, really important. It's connecting. Like if you're not, if you feel sad, lonely, depressed, and then I would say, change what you're looking at, change what you're talking to, change what you're talking about, and really, there's an elder that I'm sitting with now. He said, this is not a test, it's a choice. So it's your choice whether you want to, right? And if you're sad, lonely, depressed, then I would say take a look at the choices that you're making, what you're connecting to, right? Because this world is a beautiful place. 99.9% of this world is still a beautiful place because we are still on Mother Earth, period, right? You know what? Here's some. You know what? And you know what, we're just going to run over today. Just say, I love you guys. So this is what Grandfather told me, and I'd forgotten about this. I thought about it last week, wrote it down, forgot to tell you about it. So I love you guys. I love the way, okay, I'll tell you. So Grandfather Tony, write this down. This is your homework assignment, right? For those of you who are mired in this colonial muck, right? Sad, lonely, depressed, right? Right. This is one thing you do, right? This is so. I remember talking to Grandfather Tony about this. We were in Hollywood Seminole Reservation. We had this beautiful lot space, you know. And I remember, and I've been walking this for a long time. I think I was his firekeeper, like, 10, 11 years. And I said, like, and it's okay to have like these dips. It's like, okay. But I was kind of down here for like a little bit, right? And I'm like, Tony, man, I'm just like, I'm just like overwhelmed. I just can't see this like beauty anymore. And I'm sitting there and, I said, well, I'm thinking about drinking. I'm just like, I can't, I'm just like, oh, Tony, come on, help me here. Tony, help me here. I said, your job now is to go out in the morning, find, with your morning prayers and find something beautiful. What do you mean, Tony? I don't understand what you mean. So, to look around. So, look where your feet are. What's down there? Just, no. Oh. There's soil. There's earth. There's beautiful little flowers. There's beautiful little lizards. There's all these beautiful. Well, why don't you start to get to notice that, right? And I did, right? So, whenever I felt little lost moments, felt like outside the circle, right? Outside. That's not a disease either, right? Right? It's just, hey, we need to recenter and refocus, and as Grandfather Tony would say, like a gentle course correction, right? So, oh, when I travel around and do workshops, this is one of the exercises that we do. I said, go out there, right, make a square, 4 feet square around you, and find something beautiful in that square. And then people would, like people in that seminar, that workshop would get down on their hands and knees, and then they would find this beautiful, beautiful little flower. Like, that's freaking beautiful, and let's know that you are part of that, right? So we're identifying and bringing in, noting gratitude, and thank you, and that, and there's a cosmic shift there, right? There's another cosmic shift. So anyway, where was I? Circle medicine. I don't know where I go with that circle medicine, but anyway. Okay, sacred feminine. Okay, the sacred feminine, the life givers, right? So, we would not be here if not were for that beautiful womb space. I think I said that right. Right? So let's honor that. Let's honor that womb space as sacred, beautiful, powerful, and right. Let's just start there. Like, there was a couple conversations. I said, but, and I said, no. Let's start there. But this world is doing it, but no. Let's start there. Right. Let's not overlook the obvious. And really, that's overlooking the obvious. In fact, the colonial world dismisses the obvious, right? That we are Earth, right? So, and they replace that with despair, loneliness, and like fear and all this stuff. So let's return to what's most obvious, what's most powerful, what's right in front of us, right? Just the sacred feminine, beautiful, powerful. Enough, right? Just sit right there. Feel that womb space, just like, energetically, just like that's beautiful. That's beautiful. So, and we say that because, again, the colonial world loves to dismiss the very things that give us life, right? It's like, if you think about it, it's mind-boggling how horrific that is. How horrific that is, right? So, we're going to bring that back. Okay, so, all right, so, question of the day. Please keep your questions, concerns, and comments coming. I do not guarantee that I will get around to all of them. There was another comment that suggested that I say that again. So, I love you guys. So, okay. So this was an interesting comment, right? This is really interesting. You guys come up with some really beautiful, powerful questions. I love you. This is kind of out of left field, and I love you. It's just kind of like, when it comes out of left field, it kind of recenters me and refocuses me, kind of looks over, oh yeah, there's something over there, kind of thing, right? So anyway, hold on. It says, can you go over a medicine that you rarely talk about? And I had to give that some thought, right? I did, and and I was talking to somebody recently about this. So this is about, and I think we talked about it a little bit the other day, but not quite like this. It's called a giveaway. It's called and some of you Red Roaders know what I'm talking about, right? Right. It's called a giveaway, right? And this is a ceremony, a practice, a responsibility, an opportunity, all these beautiful things. We don't own anything. Everything is temporary. Right? In fact, we might have a giveaway. We're having something here in a couple weeks, so we may have something like that. So the giveaway is and this is usually the way it goes. It may look a little different from time to time. You set out a blanket and you put some sort of medicine on it. Right? Sometimes it's at the ceremony. So sometimes it's a whole ceremony by itself, right? But something that you want to offer to somebody else, right? And it could be like a braid of sweetgrass. It could be something like this, Could be a bag of medicine, right? Right. But like here it is. We don't own anything. Everything that we have, we are only stewards of. Right. So the stuff that we own don't own us. Right. So that's a colonialism. Right. We buy it as ours. You can't have it. Right. Right. That leads to a lot of spiritual blockages. A lot of this thing. So the way around that, my elders, my ancestors said, we're going to have a giveaway. Right. Right. And like I sat in a Lakota giveaway actually 15 years ago. I just happened to bring all my medicine. Like a couple bags of medicine, right? I wasn't pouring, I wasn't doing it. I just brought it. I didn't know I brought it, And the elder there said, you will be more healed the more it hurts. Right. So your favorite medicine bag, like this right here, this is one of my favorites, right? But I eventually know that I'm going to give this away. I already know that, right? Like that medicine right there. That's a YouTuber's. I'm pointing to a medicine bag, right? It carries a lot of medicine, right? Eventually, I know that that's going to go somewhere else. And the thing is, I've been doing this long enough that I say like if I bring it to Europe, to Germany, that might stay in Europe and Germany or Hungary, or France or wherever I'm going, right? Switzerland, Geneva, right? I know that. I already know that when I receive it, that it's eventually going to go. I have received medicines one day said, oh my God, this is so beautiful, so powerful. And 3 days later, I got to give it away. I'm like, okay, right, right, you know. Just I'm not giving this away today, just so you know. I love you guys. Like, hey, maybe I could get it. I knew what some of you were thinking. I knew it. So anyway, it's a lesson in what? One of the 7. Humility. Humility right-sizes us. Aligns us with that beautiful, beautiful spirit. Right? And what, there's been some medicine circles that bring outside medicine in, like like an iPad or something like that. It's like okay, but I would start out sticking with those spiritual medicines, like a favorite rock, a favorite stone. Like I went to Illinois. The elders gathering there, and all the elders were just giving each other stuff. It was kind of and what like a funny story is, you want to hear a funny story? I'll tell you a funny story. We're running way over, by the way. So anyway, so the funny story is, we had one with grandfather Tony. I think we were in South Miami, the Redlands, and we had and grandfather Tony was there. I don't think he was pouring. I think there was a younger guy, Emilio was pouring that on there. Good guy down the Redlands. So so anyway, we had that thing, right? And then and then I put it, I put something down. Grandfather Tony picked it up, and I'm like, okay, well, at least I know it's going somewhere. Yeah, blah blah blah. Yeah. So we kind of laughed about it. We joked about it. A couple of years later, we had another one. I got it back. I got it. I got my receipt. So it was just kind of like, because I saw it there. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. That was mine like 2 years ago. I'm gonna grab it. You know. So if it goes back, comes back, and I think a couple years later, like I gave it away anyway. So it was just, I think I just gave it away, right? So anyway, so please keep your questions, concerns, comments coming. So Anyway, we are here to the moment why we are here. We just get caught up. We're just having a good time here. I love you. We carry on. We have a good time. We tell good stories, and it's all fun. So, if you're new here, welcome to We Are the Medicine Circle. We go over daily medicine, and we go over. Let me turn this right side up. And I realize it's backwards. I realize you see it's backwards. These are medicine wheel, how to connect to spirit, how to connect to all these beautiful things. The 7 sacred teachings, that's what's in there. What we do is, the short little readings. What we do is we pick a day, we read it, then we break it down. We sit with it. And the beautiful thing is, we're going to read it a couple of times, develop a general impression. Our general impression is not a finishing line. Write that down. Like that's a colonialism, what we think. Well, that's it. No. In the spirit world, we grow and we grow together in greater understanding. That's, my friend, Dr. Villalobos, he said, the gathering is the medicine, and that's the medicine in a greater understanding in depth and weight. We change the world every day by what we do and how we do it. It's really that simple, right? We don't create signs. It's not this. It's not that. No one's good. No one's bad. No. We leave that conversation there. So if you've been here for like a little bit in the circle, that's good. If you're new here, that's good too. Just understand what we're doing here. So again, we're going to read this a couple times. Daily Medicine, October 4th. I meant to put that in earlier. Sorry about that. So we could put that in the feed. That would be good. What we're going to do again, we're going to read a couple times, develop a general impression. Again, not a place of right or wrong. That's simply where it starts. So we got 35, 40 people here between the two platforms. So that means we're going to have 45 or 50 or 40 different starting points, right? Starting point is not an ending point. So, all right. The worst part about refusing to live a spiritual life is not the harm it brings to you. It is the harm that brings to those around you. The worst part, and this is a little bit in your face. It's like about as spiritually abrasive as like they get, but they want to get our attention. It got my attention this morning. Actually, I picked this last night. It got my attention. I said, "Wow, this is really beautiful." Okay, the worst part about refusing to live a spiritual life is not the harm it brings to you. It is the harm it brings to those around you. Okay. What does that mean? How does it sit with you? Like it means like while and here's the thing: we are not bad people becoming good. Write that down. We're not bad people becoming good. We're simply becoming aligned, right? Aligned with humility, love, truth, honesty, respect, wisdom, all these courage, all these things. That's it, right? The colonial world says, I was sitting at a church yesterday, and it said, well, the good people believe, right? Yeah, and that's like very abrasive and adversarial, and it's lateral violence, right? That's what it is. The church is lateral violence. That's and I felt some sort of way, like I was at a funeral, but that's the only reason why I was there. But it's kind of it's like that. But this is not like that. So let's take that colonial thinking out. We love you. We're supposed to be in line. Just know that. Write that down. We're supposed to be in line. We're supposed to be happy. We're supposed to be, living a good, beautiful life. Okay, the worst part. Okay, unpleasant. Right. the worst, right, feeling bad, right, feeling bad, like it's they're really making it dynamically clear of that contrast medicine. That's simply what they're doing here. They're not calling you bad. They're not calling you anything. Just kind of, oh, okay, well, that's okay. This is what it looks like. Really, they're painting a picture, right? And these are the words that they're using to paint that picture. That's really it, right? So let's just leave it at that, right? The worst part about refusing, okay, we're kind of moving quickly because we don't have that much time left. Okay, refusing. That's a powerful word. That is, like, if there's one thing that defeats us in this spiritual life is refusal. Right. Because if you sat here a minute, so the red road, that's what we're talking about. That's what they're referring to. The road of wellness, right? We are here to be spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically well. That means physically aligned, spiritually aligned, emotionally aligned with humility, right? Emotionally aligned, okay. Like that's like there's a sovereign agreement, right? That we're supposed to be in line with humility, right? Like, here's like the thing that the colonial world doesn't like us to talk about. Okay, we're all equal, all life is equal. Well, no, because they like their patriarchy system, right? Right, right. Like the religions love that, right? Either you're a good person or you're a bad person. We want you to be good, right? So it's that manipulation, fear type thing, right? You know, yeah. The worst part of refusing. So we know it's out there. We know Mother Earth is out there. We know the water is beautiful and powerful. We know the water gives us life. But if we don't sit with it, we don't understand with it, we don't honor it, we're not grateful for it, right? That's what they're talking about. Right? The four-leggeds, right? Again, they are our greatest teachers, right? They will show us things that we can't see ourselves, right? But if we never make contact with them, then how are we ever going to know? Each one of us carries a beautiful, powerful, special message, not just the two-leggeds. Write that down. So when we connect to this world, they show us a piece of ourselves, a piece of medicine that makes us feel whole and happy and a part of, right? But if we don't do that, if we don't align ourselves with these medicines, this is like the Cliff Notes copy. We're running through this pretty quick, so write this down, right? Oh, so when we refuse that, that's the spiritual life that we're supposed to be doing. That's why we go to ceremonies. That's why we connect to all life. We don't go to ceremonies like like there was a guy the other day. I was talking to online. He said, "Well, we really miss, like, he's a guy in Miami. I really miss sitting ceremony, with you." And I don't really remember the guy. And I said, "Well, how many times did you come?" Maybe I just remember, well, once or twice. And I said, "Well, I was there for 6 years." Yeah, yeah, right. The worst part, you gotta show up. You gotta show up. Who is showing up right here, right now? Who is, and we talk about this all the time, who is all in? Who is all in? We need to be all in. I love you. We need to be all in. We need to be all in. That means, spiritually. That means intentionally and absolutely. I don't like talking absolutes, but we absolutely have to be all in. That means our intention, our focus. Let's do this thing. Let us do this thing. Let's do this thing, this life. Let us make a better life. Let us understand the life around us. Let us, so it doesn't have to be the way it's always been, like the opening prayer. So we have something to offer and give other than chaos, calamity, and crisis to the next 7 generations. But those of us who are refusing, I don't need to go. I know enough. Woman told me that I'm an empath. That's great, but you still have to show up. You still have to be all in. I don't care who you are. You have to be all in, right? I've been here 30 years. I'm learning how to be all in, right? Because there's pieces of us out there that we know nothing about. That's the deal. That's the deal, right? Like we think we know a little butterfly medicine, but we really don't, right? The bee medicine, like how to help each other, right? Right. It's all beautiful and it's all part of us. And if we're not all in, we're missing the best part of ourselves. And because we don't have, and this is a little bit in your face, if I'm going to get back to the reading, I think I should get back to the reading. So so we are presenting only a part of ourselves, right? That's like going here. Let me make this really clear. That's like going to 12-step program, not doing 12 steps. And thinking that, hey, I'm doing really well because I'm going to these meetings of recovery. I'm not doing anything when I'm there. I'm not doing anything when I go home, but I'm going. And thinking that, hey, look, I'm a good 12-stepper. I'm a good this. I'm a good. Well, no, you've completely missed the point because you're still believing on the people because you have no vision, right? These things, these spiritual work, everything begins with a spirit. So that's what we do. The 30-day challenges. And that was the beginning of that conversation. Hey, here's some tobacco. Here, thank you for this day. Thank you for life. Thank you for my breath. Thank you for the water. Thank you for that beautiful consciousness. Thank you for that place of gratitude. It opens up doors where we don't see, hear, understand these doors before. But because we do this ceremony, we welcome the ancestors back. We have to be absolutely intentional when we do this. It's not like, I was clumsy 30 years ago when I said, well, okay, I'm here. I just want to be sure with that. So it was all about me, right? I didn't get a lot out of it, but I got something out of it. Like I felt a little better, like than before I did it, right? But now it's like I want to connect to that consciousness to make the next 7 generations better, right? That is clear. That is intentional. I come here. I mean no harm. That's why we say these things, right? I want to be aligned. I want to be aligned with love, the spirit, the power, humility, so I can hear these things, so I can be a better person. So I can share this love with you. So your children and your kids' kids don't have to go through what I did. Right? That's powerful. That's intentful. But if we refuse to keep that hate in your heart, change begins here. Write this down. Change begins with love. Change begins with humility. Change begins with gratitude. Change begins with offering. Write all this down. I love you. Change begins when we connect to those things that give us life and love. Air, water, fire, earth. These things have a voice. They have a history, right? Our indigenous education was learning about the history of the land that we lived on, not just the 2-leggeds that were our ancestors before us, but the entire thing. The trees, the ancestors have a beautiful, beautiful tree. They're not the first trees ever on earth. They come from a long lineage of powerful, powerful ancestors, right? But we don't know anything about that. The Bear Nation, and that's not being self-serving. Okay, the Eagle Nation, right? Right. The Eagles now, that's that beautiful lineage, right? We don't know anything about the history of the Eagle Nation, other than what we see outside. We hold a feather and then we think we're cool, but we really don't know anything about it, right? So we are at a place of refusal, right? And a lot of us don't know that we're at that place of refusal because no one ever talks about this anymore, right? But my ancestors, my elders, grandfather told me, said this is the first our education starts here, learning how to be all in and accepting that everything is beautiful, powerful, has this beautiful message, a story of life and love. When we include ourselves in that, then we become that. And if we don't, then we live in that sickness, that sadness, that anger, that resentment, that fear, that sadness. If I had a mic, it'll be decaf from now on. I think at the bottom of the hour, someone just write decaf. Standing Bear needs decaf. I love you, but this is the stuff. I don't think we even talked about the reading. Let's talk about the reading. Okay, so the worst part. Okay. this is really kind of grinding me. It's just kind of like the worst part. Like that's really just write in your notes, um, write contrast medicine. Right, that's all. The night dark contrast. But that hurts me. Right, the worst part. Right, right, because it pokes that part of me that is still hurt. Right, it does. After all these years, I'm still healing. Right, so there's still a part of me that's the worst part. Oh, no. Okay, so but it's a gentle. Let's remember this. Let's always walk with what? What does Grandfather Tony taught me to do? Walk with gentleness. Right. The way we grow is through gentleness. Write that down. Right. Not anger, fear, upset. No, no. People think it's pain. No, it's gentleness. We are spiritually dyslexic. Right. Pain is not the touchstone of growth. It is gentleness. When we get to that place of gentleness, then you know, then that thing, right? Right? We can't grow in anger because we can't retain anything in anger because we're shut down. We're looking through like this. We're trying to see the whole world through this. That's what it's like when we're angry, right? We're not focused. We're not in. We can't see anything. We can't see anything around our anger. Write that down. That's why we can't grow, but we grow in gentleness. That's why. That's why we do that. Right. That's why we do that. Gentleness, love, and gentleness. Gentleness cousin is what? Humility. What's the first thing that Grandfather Tony always started? Let's be humble. Let's sit here. It's okay not to be okay. That's just one most gentle thing I ever. It brings tears to my eyes. Most gentle thing because I was violent my whole life. I was drinking and violence and self-violence, putting a gun in my mouth my whole life, right? Until Grandfather told me another way, right? Gentleness, and I finally said, okay. Well, I don't even know what you're talking about, Tony. He said, well, let's just sit here. Come sit with me. I love you. Let's just sit here, really. And that's just the way. That's the way that got to this really angry bear, right? Who that world had done all sorts of things to it. Now I'm just like, okay, right, right. And I had the right not to be okay, but I also had a right to change. And write that down. You have a right. You have a birthright. You have a responsibility and opportunity to change and to make this world a better one. But we can't do it unless we're all in, and we can't do it unless we connect to all those beautiful things that give us life and love, and so much more beyond earth, fire, water, air. Beyond that, and this thing. Oh shit, we just grabbing. Okay, this thing gets gentle. That means you will become more gentle. That means, when we sit in ceremony and we look at the old ones that have done the work, right? The work of the Red Road, the work of humility, right? They paid that price. They put some skin in the game. They did the healing. They connected all these things. They connected to, the snails and the frogs and all these things, right? We could live 1,000 lifetimes and still not fully understand how gentle we can become and how aligned we can become. That's the deal, right? But we are here for a short amount of time, so let's make this as powerful as possible, right? Right. Let's walk in a good way, as powerfully as we can, but we can't do it separated. But we have to do it together, right? That's a beautiful, powerful thing, right? I'm not sure if we even did the reading. I love you guys. I just go off like this, and you guys are like, okay, I don't know where it's going. I love you guys. Okay. Okay. So the worst part about refusing. Okay. So in your notes, refusing, right? All in. Well, above it, around it, parentheses around it. That means being all in, right? We have to be all in. That means we have to be open with gratitude, right? And again, this is great. Great time to talk about 30-day challenge. Start with the 30-day challenge, right? Start with connecting to all these things, right? Right. Start that, and offering opens up the physical and spiritual doors. Write that down. Offering. Without it, then it's just kind of like, I think something's out. I don't see it here, understand it. I think it's out there, but when we make that intentful offer, absolute intentful offer, I want to make this world a better life, the world responds. And the world will show you what? The world. will show you this place of the greatest gentleness you will ever know. That's the deal. That's the deal. That's the deal. And the flip side, I'm trying to talk about the reading here. I guess so. It, so if we don't do this, if we don't do the work, that means we have limited vision, spiritual. Everything begins with the spirit, right? Right. Everything begins with the spirit. Like our vision is like this big, right? Like we only see like a little bit, right? We can't see anything around it. That means we have tunnel vision, right? That means we only see us. That means we only see the problem. That's what that means, right? A ton of people out there saying, well, there's something wrong with the world. I'm so depressed with the world. Well, you have tunnel vision, right? There's things that you need to do. You need to do the work. Don't complain to me when you're not doing the work, right? Right? But let's do this, and let's do this together. That's what Grandfather Tony said. And if you don't show up, then you'll never know, right? And then because we have tunnel vision, we will automatically hurt the people around us, and that's a fact. That's a fact. Because when we fill ourselves up with light, love, and humility, that's what we spread out. And so people ask me, our prayer is what we do, right? Our prayer is what we do, and our prayer is also, and this is what they're saying, is what we don't do. And that's a reflection of what we do. So it is its own vicious circle, right? Right. Make that intention to be a beautiful person. Because both worlds resonate what we do, right? What we do and what we don't do, right? When we connect to the world, this world's a better place, and we treat those around us better. That's the deal, right? Right. So we step into our power when we open up to the world. That's the deal. That's the cliff notes of what this reading is saying. Right. Write that down. Right. Right. Okay. All right. Try to keep this in you an hour. Fail miserably every time. I'm sorry about that. So all right. So let's I love you guys. We got to move on now. So announcements. Okay, so Denise Miller and myself, we are having an intensive 3-day intensive called Journey Through the Season, where we take wisdom from all around the world. And it's really about what we're talking about here, connecting to all those beautiful medicines. It's not an indigenous thing. It's a human thing. It's a human workshop. How to connect to all of these beautiful things. Journey Through the Season. So if you're interested, please contact me or Denise Miller. We will get you that information. That is September. That's coming up quick. September 24th through the 26th. I think I screwed that up, but it's like that weekend. It's that weekend. Also, for you Europeans, I will be over there next month. This time next month, I will be over there, and we will be doing just what we're doing here, talking about all these beautiful things. It's different when we sit together in the circle. Would love to sit with every single one of you. So if you're in Europe, let's start to make some plans to get together. So I will be in Germany and then Hungary afterwards, and then in November I'm going to be back over there in Paris and doing my thing. And now there's a little birdie that says I'm going to be in Mongolia next year, also South America next year too. So let's plan for that. So all right, let's close our eyes. Let's finish up strong. Let's close our eyes. Think about being all in. This is use, again, we will restore the imagination. So let's use those things. Let's imagine those beautiful places, those beautiful things. Without imagination, we can't go anywhere. So maybe we're imagining the buffalo. Imagine the buffalo, the bears walking with us, every day, all day, that they never leave our side. Imagine that. That's powerful stuff, right? That's beautiful. That's the kind of thing that got me out that door right there. Just be like that. Yeah. But anyway, close your eyes and let the Standing Nation take us out. kept it a little short just because we're running over again. Sorry about that. Uh, Final word is this ceremony may end, but the ceremony in you does not end. So let's take what we lived here and learned here and loved here and listened to here and take it out to the four winds. So let's just not hit that share button. Let's hit that share button wherever we go. Let's share it on all our social media platforms. But more importantly with that, let's share what we have done here, right here. Right? If it doesn't go here, then it won't go out there. It won't go to our families. It won't go to our communities. Won't go to our nations. And won't go to Mother Earth. And there's people that really need us out there. You know, the world needs us to be better people, right? But if it doesn't go here, then that means we have to be, it does us no good to be all spiritual here if we don't take it out to the four winds. My name is Kenny Poet Macwa, Standing Bear. And if no one said that they love you today, I love you very much. Okay, well, let's have a great day.